Have you ever met someone who seemed untouchable? Not in an arrogant way, but in a calm, almost magnetic way. They don't raise their voice. They don't rush to defend themselves. They simply step back. And when they do, everything shifts. The room quiets. People take notice. Even those who doubted them start to rethink their stance. Now ask yourself this: what if you learned to do the same? What if, instead of reacting, you paused? What if you let silence speak for you? What if you stopped feeling the need to explain yourself every time someone questioned your worth? Because here's the secret. Detachment isn't about apathy. It's about power. Real power. Quiet power. When you stop giving instant access to your energy, your emotions, your time, your presence, people are forced to confront their expectations, and suddenly they don't know how to play the game anymore because you've just changed the rules. You see, the world often tries to define us by how we respond. Get angry, you're aggressive. Cry, you're weak. Stay silent, you're mysterious, unpredictable. And unpredictability, that unnerves people. But the truth is, most people don't want you to be strong. They want you to be predictable, easy to manipulate. They rely on your emotional reactions to maintain control. So the moment you step back, the illusion shatters, and they're left staring into the mirror of their own behavior. As the philosopher Epictetus once said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. So think for a moment. When you become less available, who gets uncomfortable? Who tries harder to get your attention? Who suddenly needs your validation? It's not just a reflection of their needs, it's a revelation of your power. Because detachment isn't coldness, it's clarity. It's the ability to stand still in the chaos and not let the storm inside you match the one outside. And yet, so many of us give ourselves away, piece by piece, just to keep the peace. We say yes when we mean no. We reply instantly, even when we're exhausted. We keep showing up for people who wouldn't cross the street for us. And then we wonder why we feel drained, why we feel unseen, why we feel like strangers in our own lives. The answer is simple. You've been too accessible to people who haven't earned your presence. This isn't about building walls. It's about building boundaries. It's about choosing when, where, and with whom to share your energy. In philosophical terms, this is the beginning of self-mastery. The Stoics called it ataraxia, a state of inner peace that comes from not allowing external events to disturb your internal balance. And it begins the moment you realize this. You don't have to react. You don't have to explain. You don't have to prove anything. Because sometimes the most powerful move isn't saying something. It's saying nothing. It's walking away, not in weakness, but in wisdom. So let me ask you this honestly. How much of your life have you spent chasing approval? How often have you compromised just to avoid conflict? How many times have you stayed silent, not out of peace, but out of fear? Maybe it's time to stop. Maybe it's time to step back, to create space, to protect your peace. Because when you stop being constantly available, when your energy becomes something sacred, something rare, everything changes.